Uh, I'm not disappointed. The way I'm talking the beginning is a new page. We come back for far. Yeah, we're starting winning. We're starting play more team. Today we see Chelsea team. We don't see also the difference with only Mounts. He has this regularity for make sure his performance is good. You understand? We were waiting some player need come back, no? But we need to give them time also. But we don't have time also for this kind of thing. But I'm sure everything will be positive in the future because when we're starting, make sure the possession we have today against Manchester United, we make them sacrifice also. This is a good point.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it, isn't it, Dan? It shows how far we've come that we're probably all a little bit frustrated here today because we have been the better side in the second half. But that's a huge positive. It's not a bad point. They're second in the league for a reason, and I suppose on the day, a point's not the most unfair result.
Yeah, I think we just shaved it in terms of performance, but a draw's not an unfair result. We want to win. We want to win. We want to be able to catch them right now, but at least we didn't lose, and no one's gained ground on us. So, yeah, it's a point. I wanted 3. I'll take the 1.
Abby, I think you could see by Thomas Tuchel's substitutions that he felt the game was there for the taking. Bringing on Timo Werner, Christian Pulisic, and obviously Reece James for Callum Hudson-Odoi. It looked like it was an enforced one because he was icing that left leg, wasn't he, on the bench? We weren't quite sure about what the reason for the changes, but you could see that he fancied it, and even he heads every ball on the touchline, doesn't he, Thomas Tuchel? And he you could see was quite a frustrated figure at the end there, not being able to get the 3 points. But that's such a positive as a fan to see that.
Yeah, I always love watching him on the sidelines. He's so animated, and you don't doubt his passion for a second, do you? He is Chelsea now through and through, and he's there to win games. And I'm a bit gutted, to be honest, because I really did think it was ours for the taking, and we just didn't get there. So yeah, a bit unlucky, but we didn't lose, as we've said, and we get a point, which is not all bad.
Jace, do you agree with all that? We shaded it in the second half a little bit on, probably the better of the team, but a point's not unfair.
I really, it would have been cruel for both sets of supporters or whoever had scored. I mean, it would have been nicked. If we had done it, we'd have nicked it. If they had done it, they'd have nicked it. A draw's a fair result. Neither goalkeeper had a huge amount to do. We probably had the best chance of the game with the Ziyech one, where it's a really good save from De Gea. The McTominay shot second half. Mendy's made a good save because it's through a crowd of players. Neither team did enough to win the game. That's as fair as a 0-0 result as I've seen in a very long time.
It does feel like that, Claude, doesn't it? That both teams well aware that a defeat, it was almost a must-not-lose game for both, wasn't it, today? Man United, if they get anything from the game, they kind of extend that gap over the chasing pack. And if Chelsea were to lose, 9 points is a big difference to make up. So, like Jason said, a point, I suppose everyone goes away a little bit happy.
Yeah, we can be happy or not. The point is like Manchester is still there. We need this 3 points. But for me, the point is positive. Like we starting the more stronger, more aggressive, more go deeper, more show. Now we can no leave the team come Stamford Bridge get the result. This is a good point. It's a positive. I'm sure in the future now we would get a lot of points. In the Stamford Bridge, we'll get so much pointer for the way we play now. See, we still continue like this. I think we will be close on the table, for the Champions League.
Dan, it did feel very much like, both teams kind of cancelled each other out. I suppose that it says a lot when maybe the 4 standout players on the pitch today were Fred and McTominay for Man United and then Kanté and Kovacic for Chelsea. It did feel like that was a battle where both sets of players were kind of testing each other. Did you think that was the area of the pitch where we saw the most out of Chelsea today?
Yeah, it was very cagey in there. No one wanted to give anything for free. Everyone was closing teams down. It was actually quite rare when you got one of the 2-10s or the creative players in the game into a space where they can hurt you. It probably only happened 4 times throughout the game where we were in a position to hurt them or they were in a position to hurt us. So I'm a firm believer in, you win the midfield, usually you go on to win the game. And today, just both midfields were just really, really stubborn. No one wanted to give an inch. And because of it, we got a game that was tactically fascinating, but I'm pretty sure as a neutral, you'll look at that game and you're not going to write home about it.
I mean, Abby, I think, we've all been... I suppose there's a lot of people that have been critical of Manchester United's approach in maybe playing. I think one of the best quotes I've seen is almost playing with a handbrake on quite a lot in terms of being very restrictive, not being open, not being as expansive. But then on the flip side to that, you come away to Chelsea and you get a point any time in the last 40 years. That's a good result. So for them to come away to Chelsea today and get a point, regardless if they're not scored a goal, regardless if they're not, they've not kind of silenced anyone in terms of being open, expansive and attacking, having the best of the game, that is a good result for them.
Yeah, they'll probably be pleased with that, to be honest. And I think that's why it feels disappointing for us, because we feel like, we deserve to win. But just thinking about it, it's like, since Thomas Tuchel's come in, still unbeaten. That's still super positive. And we're in the toughest test. Like the run of games we've got, we can't sugarcoat it. It's really, really tough. So the fact that we didn't lose and we drew today, I think is fine.
Jace, we said this just before you joined us on the call, that it probably underlines a little bit more how far Chelsea have come in the last 2-3 months, that we are sat here a little bit frustrated and a bit disappointed not to get anything today. Because, if this game was played just before or just after Christmas, when United are sort of on 6, 7, 8 game win streak and perhaps we're struggling a little bit more, if you'd have offered us a 0-0 back then, we'd have probably taken it. Whereas now, I think because, like Abby said, we're 9 unbeaten, we beat Atletico in the week, you do come away from it thinking we could have got a little bit more from it. But again, that's such a positive that we're in that mindset now going, no, we should be beating anyone.
Look, we're a very difficult team to break down right now. We're keeping lots of clean sheets. Just one goal conceded by an opposition player. That's how well we've done. The problem we've got is creating chances. Mm-hmm. That's where we're really blunt at the moment. And you think about the games that we've played and how many times I don't think we scored more than 2 goals under Tuchel, winning games by the odd goal. We're not creating and not scoring enough. That defensively, we pretty much got it right. He's got that side of it right. The other end of the pitch, which wins you games, little blunt right now. That you think about the Spurs by the odd goal, Sheffield United by the odd goal, Atleti by the odd goal. There aren't many goals being scored right now, and that's a bit of a concern. Defensively, brilliant. I'm really, really assured going into this we'll keep clean sheets. It's the other end of the pitch at the moment where we're struggling.
Claude, as a defensively minded player, when you go into games and you've got that confidence and that belief that you'll keep teams out and you've got the ability to stop teams playing and to stop conceding goals, is it then, I suppose, a better headache to have when you're not scoring at the other end, because you're going, well, if you don't concede a goal, you don't get beat. So at least you've got that basis to start from.
I think it's a message for the manager. I think when he arrives, it's more important for him not concede the goal anymore. No be the opponent no be easy score goal against Chelsea. He need to make sure we're more stronger. We make scared this kind of team. Now the way we're talking about offensively now. Now the boys need to understand physically, technically, possession we have it. We're more stronger defensively. Now we need to be more free. Thinking, no, be worried, and be attacking in a good way. Be in the box, like 5 players away. Manchester, you do the last minute running. We need to do this because it's an identity, Chelsea identity. More we will do this, more we will be comfortable for win the game away or home also.
Abby, it does feel very much like we're that close, don't we? We're millimetres, we're inches away. The Giroud chance in the first half, the Timo Werner chance in the second half where Lindelof gets in there first. Just little bits and pieces. We're that close to it, and it does. I know we've said this for a little while, but it does feel like there's going to come a game where we score 4 or 5, and all of a sudden something opens up. Because, like Jason said, perhaps we're not creating enough chances, but the chance we are creating, they're fairly good chances, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely that. The chances we're creating are strong. We just need to make sure that we're always capitalising on them and we're always scoring them. And, what Claude just said, defensively now, we are such a unit. So I wanted to see more passes, forward. There was so many back passes. No, come on, go and attack. Have the confidence to go forward now because we are so strong defensively. I feel like once that slightly blunt piece of attacking is sorted, we're going to be lethal.
Dan, there was only a few times we saw it today, but one of the main positives for Chelsea this season has been when Mason Mount can get on the ball and he's on the half turn, he turns and he runs. There was one chance, I think about an hour gone, where he loses Fred, and Fred knows he's already on a booking, so he can't take him down. He's running at the defence. Chances like that, which we couldn't quite get in the first half as the game starts to open up. Did feel maybe there was a 15, 20-minute period where we needed to get a goal before Man United went, no, a point will do us. Let's shut up shop, and that might have been it. It
certainly looked like they decided a point's enough before we did. Mason Mount, he commits players. That's why we like him. He really does. He gets on a half turn and he makes a player have to either get this ball from me or foul me. He gives them a decision to make. And to be fair, he's one of the only players in a team that does it, that actually runs at players and gives them something to think about whilst going backwards. So once we have, a bit more confidence in our play, and Mason's very confident just going forward. You see the way he plays. He's very tenacious. Once we have a couple of more people kind of following his lead and being perhaps a bit riskier with the ball, we have good possession stats because we go back and sideways quite a lot and back across, and it's good and it's calculated, but sometimes you need a player to just take a player on and then start dragging their system all over the place. So I like what I saw in glimpses, and I also, more than anything, love the fact that we got a clean sheet. But there's a lot to build on.
Absolutely right. Claude, just looking ahead to the rest of the season, obviously, a good first leg result against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. We're certainly in the hunt for the top four of the Premier League. We're still in the FA Cup. How do you see the rest of the season going for Chelsea?
Interesting for the player. It's very interesting have this possibility of play all this competition, be concentrated for win one. The competition is very important, the trophy now for Chelsea, because we always win trophy and all. Now we miss this. I think this team can do something this season, but it depends on where we're talking all over about change the mentality, like he gets the same mentality mounts, He don't care when they make mistakes. The mistake make progress. He just continue do the positive thing. A lot of young players, you need to get this example like Pulisic. He need do the same amounts. You understand? When I come in, he need do. He's a good dribbler. He's like passing. He not be scared. You understand? This is the point. The manager need change this mentality for them for make success. Score more goals.
It's going to be interesting. There's still so many twists and turns we are certain of coming in the season. Coming up on the fifth stand, actually, we've got quite a lot for you, including the post-match interviews from today's game and highlights of today's game a little bit later on as well. We have a massive week of live football for you coming up, which kicks off tomorrow evening with PL2 action as the Blues travel to Leicester City. It's an early start this weekend from 11 a.m. on Saturday as the under-18s take on Spurs. Sunday is even more PL2 action as we entertain Brighton from 2 p.m. All of that, and we haven't even mentioned the fact that Premier League is back. Liverpool on Thursday evening. Make sure you join us on Matchday Live for that one. So it ends the same way as it did in Manchester. Goalless and a point apiece. The first time Chelsea and Manchester United have drawn home and away 0-0 against each other since 1921. Took a bit of digging. A testing week, they said. Well, 2 down, 1 to go. We're unbeaten. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.